unraveling Jenn Soto's deception and psychological cues in a chilling investigation. This most shocking admission by Jenn Soto of how she watched Maddie like a hawk and failed. What did you fail to do, Jenn?
But they also ended up in prison. There's no way a mom can control what their child does, if they like other children, if they're whatever. You can't control that. So I would never put that on him. Stefan told me he could not plead guilty to something he didn't do, and that's what he said over and over. Again, I'm not taking away from whatever credibility he has or doesn't have, but there's no reason for him to have done that, and there's no reason for him to have said those things and incorporated Jenn into it if she wasn't. All right. Hashtag arrest Jenn Soto. I believe she is under investigation, and I believe that they're talking to the defense team, and it takes time, period. All right. And that's based on the knowledge that I have of this case and talking to law enforcement and Stefan, which has now stopped answering questions from me specifically about the case.
Else was fine, is what she told us.
Yes, he also found her deceased, is what he said. Yes, Emily, that's Deb.
So, it's almost become I knew. If I knew anything,
unless you're
I would tell you. So we have, for those who have been following VEROSCOPE, we have the pattern of deception, which you're beginning to know now. The would means not necessarily that you will. I would, self-censorship.
And I think anybody, right? This is not what I want to hear when I get an email and it says, well, I want to talk loud, but I also want to try to save my own ass and maybe get another trial or another chance on that part. It's still not going to take away from the life sentences. He's never going to get out of that. But I agree, Joanne, and I hope that's what's happening. Now, it doesn't matter what Stefan needs to do to sleep at night. I don't care. I don't care what he does to sleep at night. But however, I don't think he would have pled that way if Jenn didn't have something to do with it. All right. I really don't. And Wolfpack, we can agree to disagree on this. My intuition has says something much different than what some people think about the involvement of Jenn and Stephan Sterns. And that's the only reason a fraction of me believes some of the things that he's led me to see with Jenn, and that's happened. All right, because I didn't hear it from anyone else, and it matches up with all of the things that we've been covering. So it doesn't matter. I can always agree to disagree with you. I truly believe that there's parts of Stefan's story that are lies, and then there's parts where he just says, I can't talk about it. I'm not ready to talk about it. I don't know why I was attracted to children. I've never been attracted to children before. All right, regardless, doesn't matter if he's lying or if he's not. It happened with Maddie for years. And in my opinion, Jenn did not protect her daughter. That's it. Done. Over. Now let's arrest Jenn Soto, please.
Break of cognition. It's almost become a self-censorship break. I knew.
Well, he has.
Here is possible leakage.
He has.
If I knew anything.
Yeah, you did.
So here we have, I knew, eek, self-censorship, start again.
Well, here's the thing, guys, is he's not now. I think a lot of people just didn't see some of my episodes after Stefan was convicted. He is talking about Jenn's involvement now. Is it a day late and $1 short? Maybe, but he is talking about Jenn's involvement. I think people completely just missed my episodes where I told you what he said, how he said it. I read it to you. I showed it to you. He is talking now. Am I going to hear more because he's talking to law enforcement? No, because I'm not going to be intertwined with the case, nor do I want to be. I want to know when she gets arrested, but I don't want to be involved in that shit. All right, let's keep going.
I knew anything. Mini break self-censorship. I promise you I would tell you.
Absolutely.
Unnecessary language, convincing language.
Yeah, you did miss that true crime.
And repeating the word would, I would, being sensitive. The entire sentence is deceptive, full of deception flags.
Red flags, baby. Jenn Soto's a liar.
This is an unreliable denial. Every word is qualified. She cannot form a complete denial statement due to deceptive stress. But I don't know anything, she says. Don't know, not didn't know. Anything is hugely vague under these circumstances.
Welcome, true crime. You should go back and watch it, though.
Maximum vagueness.
Definitely go back and take a look at 3-4 weeks back, true crime and other stuff, and there's specific videos on what Stephan Sterns has said to me. I've read the emails. I've been in communication with him. He's been in communication with me. I talk with Deb. Deb talks with me about Stefan. We all talk about Stefan, and we all ask Stefan very pointed questions about Jenn, and it's all in my documented playlist, all right? So take a look. You definitely should. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you found us.
She doesn't address the actual specific allegation. It's too broad to be reliable. It's just a technical truth statement. I don't know anything.
Yep, that's disgusting. I would
present tense, isn't it?
I would chop it off. If that were me, if I were Jenn Soto and I knew what Stefan did.
Tenses are very important in statement analysis.
I'd Lorena Bob it.
Otherwise, we get this linguistic sleight of hand.
I would chop it off, guys.
I sleep clothed, yeah. Shirt, pants, pajama sets, yes.
This is VEROSCOPE.
We would here. It was slightly difficult to. Because of the redaction with Madeline's name being mentioned, the editor, because she hadn't been found at that stage, I believe the editor was removing the name.
Madeline Soto, Maddie. Does not answer about Maddie. Doesn't use Maddie's name. Talks about her as the body.
She also didn't, from memory, answer the question entirely, and she began with what she wore. Excessive detail for self. We look at percentages very often. So a person, to avoid the lie, will spend a large percentage of the answer in safe ground. So the safe ground.
I mean, this is making me mad just looking at this when she says the only thing he ever expressed was he liked ANAL, a weird actual interest. Might explain predatory behavior, maybe, because, you know, many grown women don't want that. You got to find somebody with kink. So does that explain something? That is a very minimizing word for her to say he only ever expressed to me about. That is a big deal. You don't minimize only and anal in the same. I mean, not for me, it doesn't. There's no, it's one way and that's it. There's none of that. This should never, none of this should have ever happened, period. Man, this is just, this makes me mad. I'm going to just go past this part a little because I already know what was done to Maddie, and it makes me disgusted and sick. All right. And the whole sleep cloth, clothed, yeah, shirt, pants, pajama, yes, cloth, clothed. She stutters. I bet you many times they didn't have clothes on. All right. And maybe they weren't butt naked, but inappropriately dressed to have 3 people in the bed, one that's been abused for years, and then for her to talk about his actual desires. Just this guy, I can't. That makes me sick to my stomach. You guys know that. Ugh. All right. I can't with that. Let's just look at these repetition. Now, this pattern analysis, guys, is what tells you about her lies, her studying, her repetition, her abandoned sentences where she's about to say something and then she says something else, or she stops, or she doesn't talk about Maddie's name. All right. These are the lies, only minimizing the snuggling. And we know what snuggling really was in that household. There's nothing to minimize it. It is sick, and it makes me sick, and it gives me nightmares. I can't.
Up certain sections. So we've got a lot of stuttering and repetition due to cognitive strain, extreme sensitivity at deception points.
Ugh.
We've got a lot of self-censoring through abandoned sentences, a lot of conditional language, I would, if I knew, willing to, future promises, single word denials, no, no. I'll tell you what struck me was no guilt. This is a very, very unusual personality trait. She shook her head, didn't she? She essentially said she's got no guilt.
Mm-hmm.
An innocent mother whose child is missing feels guilt in all sorts of ways.
Right?
Because
and she
they're
doesn't
innocent.
feel any guilt, right? Think about that, guys. Think about an innocent mom. Now, Mab, this sounds like a channel I'd like to watch. Absolutely. Go sub up to VEROSCOPE. But covering true crime, moms that did nothing wrong feel guilty just because they didn't tell their son or daughter that they loved them the last time they saw them. And Jenn feels guilty for nothing. You tell me if that's normal. All right. Now we're going to go cover some cases next week where, I absolutely want to cover the Michael Monkey Vaughn case where you see a real mother really grieving and then real duper's delight when it comes to Stacy and that piece of garbage, the Wandras.